Welcome to the 2015 MAAC Basketball Championships. From the Times Union Center in Albany, New York, it's quarterfinal Saturday, tipping off with the Siena Saints against the top-seeded Iona Gales. We began with 11 teams down to 8. It'll whittle its way down to 2 on Monday night, with somebody cutting down the nets and going on to the NCAA Championship. Iona and Siena tip things off here today, followed by Monmouth and Canisius in the 4-5 game. Number 2 Ryder comes into this tournament without Matt Lopez. It's all-star center out with a knee injury. How will that impact the Bronx chances of advancing? And then in our nightcap here later this evening, it'll be the 3rd-seeded and defending tournament champion Manhattan Jaspers looking to keep Marist from pulling yet another upset. The Red Foxes took out Quinnipiac in Thursday's first round. And welcome everybody to Albany. Doug Sherman along with Rob Kennedy. So glad you could join us here for the MAAC quarterfinals Saturday. We've got an intriguing matchup here at the top between Siena and Iona because you've got a big home crowd for the Saints, and for the Gales, well, they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, there's absolutely no denying the fact that this is an advantage for Siena to be playing on this home court. There's also no denying that Tim Kluse has been pretty vocal about that throughout the week, going as far as to say that Siena is the favorite in this game. Well, coaches are known to exaggerate a little bit, and that's an exaggeration because these Iona Gales are so good offensively. It doesn't matter where this game's going to be played. They're the favorite coming in.
Okay, let's take a look at our starting lineups first for Siena. And the big thing is that Rob Poole is going to try and go on a creaky ankle for the Saints. Out there with Marquise Wright, Evan Himes, Javion Oganyemi, and Levon Long. Meanwhile, for Iona, this clearly the best starting 5 in the league. Calvin Amayo, Cedric Casimir, the Rookie of the Year in the conference. A.J. English, first-team all-conference with NBA scouts everywhere here in the building. Isaiah Williams back from a foot injury. And then you've got David Lowry, the Conference Player of the Year, who also has NBA interests.
Yeah, no question about that. He's got great size, and certainly Jimmy Patsos has to worry about a number of different offensive weapons.
And that offense is orchestrated by the head coach at Iona in his 5th year with the Gales, Tim Kluse. Really has become an offensive mastermind and kind of a go-to guy for people around the country to talk about the offense that he has brought and implemented so successfully.
Oh, they push the pace, share the basketball, and scored as well as anybody in the country over his 5 years here.
The Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Basketball Championship quarterfinal round underway back in the capital of New York State this year. And the Saints in their road gold uniforms as the number 8 seed have the basketball first. Javion Oganyemi posting up David Lowry, and he traveled.
Turnovers have been a problem all season long for Siena, especially inside the MAAC. They turn it over 13 times a game, but MAAC play, that's numbers been even higher.
Iona is the number 1 seed, and it's home white with the maroon and gold lettering and trim. Lowry backing his way on Oganyemi, who picks up the personal foul. And if there's one bugaboo for this Siena team, it's the fouls they commit in such high volumes that it really can hinder them.
Especially Javon Long, who leads the country at 4.2 fouls per game. One thing Iona does so well offensively, they get great spacing. Doesn't matter if it's on the break or in the half court. And by spreading 4 shooters out on the perimeter and allowing David Lowry to go one-on-one in the post, he is a handful.
And
see, once again, 4 out, 1 in.
And now it's Willem Brandwick trying to keep Lowry from doing his thing. It's Iona basketball. Well, when Javion Oganyemi was just taken out of the game after less than a minute, he committed a turnover at one end and committed a foul at the other. Jimmy Patsos was quick to keep his head up, and now assistant coach Lucius Jordan has been doing more of the same, trying to make sure he doesn't lose any confidence. Foul called as Lowry doing his thing on the low post.
Well, he's the player of the year. He might as well throw it into him to establish his inside position early and often. And that's exactly what the Gales have done.
First foul on Long. And after this free throw, Oganyemi will come back in. We'll also get our first look at Jimmy Page. Well, Lowry was the preseason player of the year in the conference and has done it throughout. averaging 20.1 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game. He's done it against big-time opponents. Back in November at 25th ranked Arkansas, he went for 25 points, 14 rebounds. He can get it done against any level of competition. Wright connects on the pull-up.
Oh, so the Gales try to extend the floor with the full court pressure. The only thing is that plays to Marquise Wright's strength. He's at his best when he can get some space in the open floor.
So often, Rob, we see teams try to slow Iona down, but we don't expect that to be the case for the most part here today with Siena. A.J. English kicks to Lowry, who fumbles the basketball. Up off the glass, gets his own miss, and a la Moses Malone, he's got 2 more points.
Going padding his stats right there.
Push against Williams, who asks, how is that a push? And picks up his first personal.
Well, David Lowry, he's got that funky game. He can put the ball to the floor. See, he just muscles his way, clears the first defender out, puts it on the glass, and gets it himself.
Evan Himes, senior, hoping this is not his final college game. Rob Poole, the other senior in the starting 5 for the Saints. Long high post, kick to the corner, Himes. Oganyemi on the offensive glass.
And I think that's one of the keys, one of the ways you slow Iona down from running is getting after it on the offensive board, something the Saints did not do the last time out against Monmouth when they got beat up on the backboards.
Now that was the last game of the regular season. Siena actually played perhaps its best game on Thursday as Williams knocks down the 3.
And you can see why he's so important to have him back in the lineup.
Himes has his shot blocked out of bounds. The Saints will have it. And now Ryan Oliver replaces Rob Poole. Well, Poole did not practice with the team yesterday. With this new format we've had the last 2 years since the league went to an 11-team format, we have the first round games Thursday, then a day of rest on Friday before the quarterfinals on Saturday, and that in and of itself gave Rob Poole an opportunity to play in this game, because with his ankle looking for surgery at the end of the season, he was certainly not going to be able to go back-to-back days.
Oh, that's a good point. And certainly with that day off, it makes it a little bit easier for somebody to come out of the tournament bracket playing in that first round. When it was 4 games in 4 days, it was really difficult.
Kelvin Amayo traveled. Siena down 1, gets the ball back. Now Poole comes back in, replacing Himes.
And Poole ended up being selected on the 3rd-team All-MAAC. He was a preseason first team, but as you said, Doug, he's been banged up all season and really has been hampered by that ankle injury for almost 2 months.
Well, he's missed 3 games total with it, including the regular season finale at Monmouth, but he did hobble his way through 31 minutes on Thursday against Niagara. Misfires on his first shot attempt. Levon Long battling. And then Javion Oganyemi called for traveling. Now, Tim Cluse told the local media yesterday that he feels his team is the underdog in this ball game, in spite of the fact that the Gales come in at 24-7, 17-3 in league play during the regular season, and they've won 11 of 12 coming in. Clearly based on their body of work, as A.J. English will go to the line, they are the team to beat here this weekend. However, his point is, we're the number 1 seed, yet we've got to go and play in Albany with thousands of Siena fans outnumbering our fans.
No, and certainly Jimmy Patsos will be the first to tell you it's an advantage for Siena. But when he was at Loyola coaching in the MAAC, he was as loud and supportive of the tournament being in Albany as anybody was. And certainly it wasn't to his benefit at that point in time. I think it's a bigger difference if Siena's not an 8 seed. You know, if you're the number 1 seed and all of a sudden Siena's a 4 seed and you're playing on their home floor, that's a big difference. Or if you're the 1 seed and they're the 3 seed and get to the final, I think it's a much bigger advantage then. 1-8, you still should be able. No question it's an advantage to Siena, but Iona's clearly the better team.
Well, Iona swept Siena in the 2 games during the regular season. Nearing the first media timeout. Siena with the basketball down 3.
And the Gales scored 86 and 87 in those two ball games. And so Siena's going to have to figure out how to control Iona and keep that scoring down.
Cedric Casimir called for the reach-in foul. Will step away. 15:55 remaining first half. The top-seeded Iona Gales up 3 early.
You could win an out-of-the-blue party with a rock star, like Charlie XCX. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag #OutOfTheBlue with a picture of Pepsi.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best, while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day! It's hump day!
Yeah.
Hey, Mike! Mike!
Mike.
Guess what day it is? Hey, Camel! Guess what day it is?
It's not even Wednesday.
Let it go, Phil.
If you're a camel, you put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
MAAC Basketball is brought to you by the 2015 MAAC Basketball Championships here at the Times Union Center in Albany. Now through March the 9th. Visit MAACsports.com/basketball for more information. With Rob Kennedy, I'm Doug Sherman. The Siena Saints come in with a record of 11-19 overall, and they have had tremendous success in the postseason in this building, Rob. They have rattled off 13 straight postseason wins. That's 3 straight MAAC championships in 08, 09, and 10. And then they also won the CBI last year, including some home games played in the postseason. So it's been a long time since the Green and Gold suffered a loss in postseason play here. Ibn Muhammad in for the Gales with a rebound. He's at the point with Casimir, English, Amayo, and Lowry. Here's English off the curl. Lost it on the way up, and a foul is called against the Saints. Ryan Oliver picks up the personal, his first.
Off the set play, A.J. English curling off that screen hard. Fans were looking for a walk, but clearly contact at the end of the play.
And so English back to the free throw line for a second time here this afternoon. Oliver out, Himes back in. Williams replaces Amayo for Iona. English averaging nearly 20 points per game. He's got all 4 of his points from the line so far today. One of the other interesting numbers, Rob, that I came across that may or may not be relevant here for the ball game is that since Siena joined the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference in 1989, they've never beaten Iona in their 6 head-to-head matchups in this tournament. Poole. Nice closeout by Williams, but the senior from South Jersey able to connect.
Yeah, he just willed that one in.
English kicks it back to Williams. He is a brilliant three-point shooter.
And A.J. English is a brilliant passer. He's so good off the bounce that he gets himself into the lane. You're forced to give defense a help, and he's always going to find the open man. Leads the MAAC at over 5 assists per game.
And no matter who Siena throws at him, A.J. English is going to have an inherent physical advantage.
Well, he's got size advantage as well as quickness on this end. Rob Poole's a great shooter. He didn't shoot that one, he just threw it in. But on the other end, you see the deep penetration by English, presence of mind to know where Williams is on the floor. And Williams is a matchup nightmare at 6'7", can take you out on the perimeter. Terrific three-point shooter, 45% from beyond 3 on the season. And if you're going to guard him with the big, he's in trouble. If you guard him with the guard, he's got the size to go post him.
English also a matchup problem. He's all of the 6'4" they list him at, and a long 6'4" in Siena's guards. Marquise Wright listed at 6 feet, not sure about that. And Evan Himes listed at 5'9", not so sure about that. So English has a huge height advantage, and if you put a Ryan Oliver or somebody with greater size, or Rob Poole, to try and check him, he can go right past him.
And because they get such great spacing, they take advantage of those mismatches on the offensive end.
Here's Wright guarded by Casimir. Himes. He's a terrific athlete, winding down a very good career at Siena. And the turnover forced. The Saints get the ball back down 4. Poole finds the cutting right, and a foul goes against Amayo. Check that, it's against Muhammad. And the third foul against the Gales. Non-shooting foul. And now Jelani Dublin replaces Muhammad.
Iona doesn't have the deepest bench, but again, they're thinking about winning 3 games in 3 days, so not surprised that Tim Kluse is going to his bench early.
Well, I thought coming into the game, and we're only 5.5 minutes in, there was the potential in this game that Iona could absolutely blow the doors off of Siena here today. But the longer Siena hangs around, the tougher I think it might be for the Gales to separate.
No question about that. The longer the game goes on, the more it becomes that home court advantage for Siena.
Lowry lobs to the rim, and Williams throws it down.
Oh, that's a nice set. You can run it because Williams, as we said, a nightmare matchup for guys, and because of the passing ability of David Lowry.
And the junior from Newark, New Jersey with 8 points, half of Iona's total, the lead back to 6. Poole back to Wright, who is not as much a threat from beyond the arc. He misfires from deep. Casimir, who is crafty with the dribble, brings it back out. Here's Lowry. There's another one of those passes you're talking about, Rob, and Dublin will head to the line.
He's a point forward. He handles the basketball. When he rebounds it on the defensive end, he doesn't have to outlet it to anybody. He brings it up the floor. That was a great feed right off the bounce. Here's another great feed on that design play on the back screen for the alley-oop. He puts it right where it needs to be. But that last pass right off the bounce may have been even more impressive than the alley-oop assist.
No doubt, and he won't get an assist even if Dublin makes points here. The graduate transfer from Longwood University, only 7 of 15 this year from the line.
And that is one of the things as far as scoring basketball that I don't agree with. You make that great pass,
yep,
you force the defense to foul, because if not, it's going to be a wide open layup. You should get credit for that terrific pass.
You and I have been banging on that drum for years, although it would not have been an assist there because Dublin missed both free throws. But a terrific pass nonetheless. Levon Long back on the floor. Here's Willem Brandwick.
And out of the zone. Gales got to make sure they know where Rob Poole is.
Here is Poole with the basketball. Back to Himes. Long drives on Amayo, kicks to Himes. Nice pass, Oganyemi, but a better defensive play by Amayo to strip the basketball. Here comes Amayo. Lowry misses the left-handed shot. One and done for the Gales.
But he's had really good energy at the start of this game.
Himes for 3. Long rebound, tracked down by Amayo. Here come the Gales. Coach Kluse pushing and urging the entire time. English hits the 3.
And a deep 3. And with the defender running at him, and Long with good size at 6'7", didn't matter.
The lead balloons to 9. English with 7 early points.
And they transition from defense to offense as quick as any team in the country.
Long connects. 4 points for the sophomore from Baltimore. Pass deflects out of bounds off of Dublin, and the Saints get it back. Now, Coach Patsos is putting in quite the workout today, as he typically does. He is some kind of fired up. He said after beating Niagara Thursday, when the inevitable question came about having to face Iona, he was quick to say, we're going to lose by 30. Now, that's not what he's telling his team in the locker room, but that's what he wants people to believe, that, hey, we don't have a chance.
As we said in the open, coaches are known to exaggerate things a bit.
Oliver off the bounce. Amaya with another defensive rebound, and very quickly gets the ball into the hands of English. And just as quickly, he buries another three.
Well, when they make shots, boy, they are tough to beat. One of the reasons why in their last regular season game that St. Peter's was able to beat them, because Iona shot just 32%. They've come out red hot to begin this one.
Well, they have reached 100 points 11 times over the 5 years Tim Kluse has been the head coach. Oliver gives it to Williams. Amaya was fouled on the shot. A.J. English, first team all-conference. Had 4 free throws early, and now he's starting to heat up from the perimeter. Consecutive three-pointers, and he already has 10 points. The Iona lead is 10.
Not want to do the interview.
He may not.
You're going to give me the go, right?
Here he comes.
Jimmy, Iona's starting to get off from the three, and they're also getting some transition baskets. What do you have to do to send the time?
Mitch, I've talked, as you said yesterday, you got to stop him from the three. We have to do it better. Got to take it personally from the three-point line.
I like going inside to Oganyemi and Long. I think you got an advantage there.
Yeah, we have to keep going inside. That's a 40-minute thing you got to do.
Good luck, Jimmy.
Thanks.
So far, Siena 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Iona 4 for 4. We send it over to the third member of our team, Mitch Bonaguro, standing by with Saints head coach Jimmy Patsos.
Jimmy, Iona's starting to get off from the three, and they're also getting some transition baskets. What do you have to do to send the time?
Mitch, I've talked, as you said yesterday, you got to stop him from the three. We have to do it better. Got to take it personally from the three-point line.
I like going inside to Oganyemi and Long. I think you got an advantage there.
Yeah, we have to keep going inside. That's a 40-minute thing you got to do.
Good luck, Jimmy.
All right, thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Coach. As I was driving here to the arena today, I was listening to Sirius Satellite Radio. They've got the college sports channel, and they had Tom Brennan, and they had Steve Lapis chit-chatting, and they started talking about our buddy Mitch Bonaguro in the old days, all as assistant coaches under Rolly Massimino at Villanova, and the story's just going. I didn't realize Brennan had been an assistant way back in the very early days, right after Rolly got that job.
Yeah, to Rolly, as well as Bill Raftery. So wonder where he gets all of his jokes and all of his good stories. Nobody more entertaining than TB. And he learned from two pretty entertaining guys.
And he talked about the fact that for Rolly, who is still coaching, that basketball has helped to keep him young as it does for so many others.
Yeah, he turned 80 earlier this year, yet he keeps doing terrific down there in Florida. His team keeps winning games, so why stop coaching?
Siena with the basketball, down 11 to the top-seeded Iona Gales. This is the first of our four quarterfinals of the MAAC tournament here today and tonight. Right, tough shot.
And they've got to make some of these shots, but here's where they've got to clean it up. That's on the defensive end. You're not going to outscore Iona. You got to figure out ways to be able to contain the Gales and slow the game down defensively.
And, you know, Siena's defense has not been good throughout the season, but the reality is the last 3 games they've actually been good. They've held opponents to 63 points per game, and perhaps that's unrealistic against this Iona team. Page with a block shot, but the follow by Amayo.
And there's a couple of times where they've been decent on the initial defensive possession, but then haven't rebounded the basketball. David Lowry's gotten his own miss a couple of times. That time Amayo's staying with it.
Long feeds the post. Lowry just waited for that shot by Page and swatted it out of bounds.
Well, Page at 6'4", giving up a lot of size in the post against Lowry.
Oliver replaces Page. Reidenheinz on the floor for the first time for Iona. Shot clock down to 3. Oliver has to fire. Haven't heard from Cedric Casimir yet, the freshman from Stamford, Connecticut with the basketball, the Rookie of the Year as named yesterday.
But against this zone, boy, you got to find him from beyond the three-point line. So Saints going to the zone to see if they can slow the pace down. But you got to make sure that you mark those three-point shooters.
5 on the shot clock. Williams the deep 3. Good box out by Ogunyemi, and here comes Marquise Wright. Working on Casimir. And they say the Gales were the last to touch. Siena will keep it.
In the game for Iona, number 5, A.J. English. Replacing number 2, Kelvin.
Well, you mentioned that you thought Coach Kloos was perhaps giving a consideration for the fact that we're here to win 3 games in 3 days with his substitution patterns. Is that unusual? Oliver off the inbound. Is that unusual that a coach would be thinking about that at this point, Rob?
No, especially if you're the number 1, 2, or 3 seed. I mean, you're not worrying about, first thing and foremost, you're worried about winning this game.
Sure.
But you also come in with the mindset that we've got to win 3 in 3 games.
We saw there the inability to jump by Rob Poole. Siena still able to come up with the basketball. And then give it right back to Reidenheinz.
And you can't turn it over because when you do, they come right at you.
Williams. Lowry offensive rebound. And the Gales just keep pushing. Lowry for 3.
So after hitting their first 4 threes, they've missed 3 open threes. That could have blown this thing wide open.
Nice feed to Long. He banks it in. 8 minutes to go in the half.
Look at 3 gold jerseys around Lowry. Gets a wide open look from the perimeter for English. So you pick your poison. You're going to try to isolate one-on-one in the post against David Lowry, and he can abuse guys in the post. But if you collapse, you may give up a 3 like they did there to A.J. English.
13 points now for the 6'4 junior from Wilmington, Delaware. Oliver for 3. English kicks to the corner. Hines.
And they share the basketball. Everybody's a willing passer on this team. And because everybody gives up the basketball, then you have such great scoring distribution. You think A.J. English at nearly 20 a game. David Lowry at over 20 a game. Everybody can score because everybody gets touches.
Long with 8 points. It's back to a 10-point difference. Well, you mentioned the 2 big guns, but Casimir averages 15 per game. Isaiah Williams 13.5 per game. Here goes Williams spinning, and a traveling violation.
Official.
Well, A.J. English has brought his A game to Albany. He has 13 quick points, and he has been knocking down shots, including making it look like a home rim. All Gales so far.
If you want to be in medicine, start practicing. If you want to be in accounting, start crunching numbers. If you want to score points, get in the game. If you want to make a difference, serve others. Canisius students are many things. Eager to learn, capable of taking on an ever-changing world. The only thing they're not is content to sit still.
It's the community.
And away we go.
The atmosphere.
What a game. You can just feel the electricity here.
The competition.
Wow. We are tied.
The fans.
This is the matchup everyone's been wanting to see. And now the crowd is beginning to swell.
The 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Regionals. March 28th and 30th at Times Union Center in Albany, New York. What it's all for.
MAAC fans, log on to MAACFanZone.com today and sign up for the MAAC Fan Rewards program. Use social media to redeem points towards special MAAC prizes and become the #1 fan in the MAAC. Visit MAACFanZone.com now. Solid crowd for the first of our 4 quarterfinals today, but I'd have to say it's a little lower than you might have expected for a Siena team taking on the top-seeded Iona Gales.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Siena Saints fans have always supported their home team, not only throughout the regular season, but when the event has been here in the Time Union Center. So a little light.
Well, they average over 6,500 per game, which is more than 3 times per game above anybody else in the MAAC. Their Saints down by 10. And Siena still looking for its first made 3-point shot at 0 for 7, Rob. Long collides with Williams. And it's an offensive foul and a turnover. The 7th Siena turnover. And perhaps more importantly, foul number 2 on Long.
And Long's got to fix that. I mean, you can't look at the officials every time you pick up a foul and think that they're wrong. You average over 4 fouls per game. It's hard to stay on the floor.
Lowry, big advantage on Oliver, and he makes him pay.
Well, how about the strength to back in and then the soft touch to finish with the floater? He's got that old school game that's a little bit different than you're going to see from most guys.
Yeah, 6'9", 245, equally comfortable with the ball in his hands, off the ball on the perimeter and in the post.
Yeah, it's a unique skill set. One of the reasons why there's a number of NBA scouts here to take a look at he and A.J. English.
Oganyemi, no. Wright up for the rebound. And the point guard of the Saints with the putback. He's got 6.
He was honored as the team MVP earlier this past week, as well as their best defensive player. His team's struggling. He just says, you know what, I'm going to go get the basketball and make something happen.
Lowry dumps it off for Amayo, who very nearly put it in.
But every time the Saints get a bucket, the crowd starts getting back in it. They can't come up with the stop at this end.
That's the 2nd foul on Oganyemi. And the 8th against Siena here in the half.
Amayo has struggled all season for the foul line at just 51% on the year. But one of the reasons why the Gales were able to win the regular season and win 11 of the 12 games that Isaiah Williams missed with the foot injury was the emergence of Kelvin Amayo has been playing so much better coming down the stretch.
Technical foul called against Jimmy Patsos by the official nearest to him, Gary Tracy.
And Patsos looks like, what did I do?
He's played this game before. Now, he tries to get technicals as often as not, and I have a feeling he said something that he knew would get him teed up.
Although he did look with an inquisitive look like, what did I do that time? Earlier, if you gave him a tee, I would have known why he got it. Because he was getting after him right before Mitch had to talk to him at that 12-minute mark. He was all over the officials, but must have said something.
So the best foul shooter in the league makes the foul shot. Casimir has his first point. Well, as most coaches do, he keeps a catalog, Patsos does, in his head of the technicals he's gotten and the ones he's tried to get. Not always is he trying to get them, but there is a method to the madness by a lot of coaches. Now, on the other side, Tim Kluse, I believe, has one technical foul called against him in his entire 5-year tenure at Iona. He gets his point across. He just does it in a different manner.
And one of the interesting things with Jimmy, he gets teed up as much as any coach in the country, but he never gets the second. You know, once he gets his first, then he moves on.
Poole's pull-up. Another tough contested shot.
Yeah. You know, a guy who's known for his three-point shooting with a couple of tough pull-ups defended.
There he is poking the ball away. Himes has right to his left. Oliver to his right. Back to Himes. Willem Brandwick fouled by Amayo, who cannot believe it.
Well, here's Rob Poole, shot fake, gets himself a tough pull-up. Smart enough to use it off the glass to get it to go, and then good hustle on the offensive glass there by the freshman Brandwick. Can sense, Doug, that the crowd wants to get into this game. Siena's been unable to convert from beyond the three-point line. Himes has had a couple of decent looks from deep. Get the sense they string together a couple outside shots. This crowd's going to be right back in the ballgame.
Well, Oliver is known for his three-point shooting, but lately he has shown tremendous confidence with that two-point shot. And here comes the crowd again. No whistle, just a turnover.
Well, Doug, you were talking about it, that sometimes Jimmy Patsos tries to get a technical to fire his team up. Well, it's worked so far. And they didn't have a whole lot of energy. The crowd was flat. Since that technical, the energy level has spiked up.
Himes penetrates the zone. Right, blocked by Lowry. Quick outlet, here comes English. And the foul call. And it's against Ryan Oliver. I think Coach Patsos is saying keep an eye on the elbow from the offensive player, A.J. English, who heads to the free throw line. Well, among the teams very interested at the NBA level in the man at the free throw line, the Denver Nuggets, they've had their general manager in to watch him play in person. The San Antonio Spurs have been to several games. The Indiana Pacers have had scouts at multiple games, including this one here today. We saw Matt Doherty, the former North Carolina Tar Heel player and coach, who is in attendance here today. And he's not here just to watch English. He wants to check out Lowry as well. And you don't hear Lowry's name come up quite as much, but what do you see as his possibility at the NBA level? Can he get there? Will he wind up in a summer league? Will he wind up in a camp? Does he have that kind of talent? Do they view him that way?
Well, he's got a unique skill set. And so if a team values what he can do, which is pass the basketball, use his size, he's not the greatest athlete in the world, and certainly compared to some NBA guys, doesn't get off the floor, not as quick. But I tell you what, he's got good size, and that skill gives him a chance.
Oliver connects. Does Lowry remind you of anybody who's played in the NBA in the last 20 years?
Well, he's so funky that his game doesn't necessarily translate to meet somebody else's game. But you think of guys that can do certain things really well, like pass the basketball for a forward at his size. If you get a team that values that, then he's got a chance. I think he's got a good chance to end up going to a summer league, but he's the type of guy that can have a long, extended career overseas.
No doubt. Oliver hits the three. He's starting to heat up. And Tim Kluse is unhappy with Ibn Muhammad allowing Oliver to get that open.
Well, the Saints have got to start converting from beyond the three-point line. Finally, Ryan Oliver steps up and hits one. Get off to such a slow start from deep. If Iona's going to score it, certainly they've been scoring it so far tonight. 40 here in the first half with 3:07 left to play. If they're going to score it, then you've got to be able to make some shots to keep yourself around for long enough. But again, I don't think that Siena can outscore Iona.
No.
They're going to have to figure out how to slow this ball game down. You talked about it earlier, Doug. Their defense hasn't been very good all season. But in their wins, they hold opponents to 67 points per game. In their losses, teams are scoring 78. Looks like Tim Kluse's team is on pace for another 80-plus. As we said, in each of their first two meetings, 86 and 87. If the game's up at that score, I don't think the Saints can hang around long enough.
And Iona's scoring average has dipped in the last month under 80 per game. English now with 20.
Yeah, talk about multiple ways to score it. He's got that deep range, but everybody forgets how big and strong he is with his upper body strength.
You and I remember, Rob, 2 years ago when he was a freshman, he was pretty skinny, but that has changed. He has filled out nicely, much like his father, who played a couple of years in the NBA. Marquise Wright. And here comes English. Do or would NBA scouts take into consideration, or does it draw their attention more if your father or your brother or your uncle played in the NBA? We'll talk about that when we come back. The Gales with an 11-point lead. Jimmy Patsos trying to will his Saints into the semis of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Tournament.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
Could win an Out of the Blue party with rock stars like Fall Out Boy. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag Out of the Blue with a picture of Pepsi.
MAAC fans, log on to MAACFanZone.com today to enter into the MAAC Fan Rewards Program. Enter the promo code TUC to redeem your bonus points towards special MAAC gifts and prizes. With Rob Kennedy and Mitch Bonaguro, I'm Doug Sherman here in the MAAC quarterfinals. Iona with a record of 24-7 overall. And Rob, I asked you going to break, do NBA scouts take into consideration amongst college prospects, if your dad played in the NBA like A.J. English's father played a couple of years with the Washington Bullets. Does that help your case with the scouts?
Well, you got to remember this. They take everything into consideration, as you see his dad with a run with the Washington Bullets way back when. But, yeah, that is something that somebody's going to value. The fact that, hey, his dad played in the league. So, one, you know, he's got good genes coming in. He's a good athlete. He's got good strength. He knows what it's like to be an NBA player from what his dad has been able to teach him and show him. So, yeah, that's not going to get you to the NBA, but certainly it's one of the many things that scouts will take a look at.
And he's already reached and surpassed his season average with 20 points. He averages just a touch under 20. Oliver trying to trade baskets with him. He's into double figures. And if you're wondering, A.J. English's career high was 37 points back in November at North Texas, on pace to give that a run here this afternoon.
He's had 3 games of 30 or more on the season. Looks like he's well on his way to potentially his 4th.
Good hustle by Himes. Acrobatic finish, and the Saints are back within 7.
Well, if it's a foot race, he's going to beat just about anybody to the rim.
And then the huge answer by Williams.
And that's where they absolutely kill you. You got momentum. You get a basket out in transition. I think Jimmy Patsos, did Jimmy Patsos take that timeout? We'll try to figure that out. Here's this burst of speed, the open floor by Evan Himes. Runs by one defender. Able to finish with English there to bother him. But as soon as he gets that quick bucket, right out of the net, coming the other way at you, is Iona. They do it every single day in practice. One of the reasons why they score so many points and why they play at such a quick pace.
Well, it certainly is by design, and Coach Klus and his staff put in a lot of time practicing how they push the ball up. They want shots taken within 10 seconds every time they get the basketball.
And in practice, if you don't, that's when he's getting on you. Get it up quickly, pass the basketball, share it, and get a good shot up quickly. They don't just run up the floor. If there's not a good shot, they don't force it.
Good hustle defensively by Himes, but he eventually gets called for the foul.
So this is not like the old Loyola Marymount where you're just going to run it up and just take a shot, good or bad. They push the ball up. If there's nothing there, they'll bring it back out and run offense, but they get so many good open shots early in their offense.
And Tim Klus is always quick to point out his mentor was Frank Morris, his high school basketball coach on Long Island, who played basketball and coached basketball much in a similar fashion to what we see at Iona. Right. Left it short. Amayo, nice job defensively again.
And that's the one thing that Wright has to work on in the offseason, become an elite point guard in this league. He gets open shots from beyond the 3. He doesn't force them because he's not a terrific three-point shooter. He adds that to his game. Then he is really an elite player.
Iona timeout. And Rob, you have mentioned why Justin Robinson has been so good and why the Monmouth point guard made first team this year. His ability to finish shots like that and finish in traffic.
Especially at that size. If you can force guys to go guard you beyond the three-point line, now you get driving angles to be able to get to the rim.
The 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Regionals are coming here to Albany. Experience it live. Catch the regional round action March 28th and 30th at the Times Union Center, hosted by the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and by Siena College. Affordable all-session tickets are on sale now. For tickets, visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and secure your seats today. English, Lowry, Amayo, Williams, and Casimir come out for the Iona Gales with 32 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the half. They get the ball in Lowry's hands. Page trying to guard the double team. finds Casimir open. Well executed, just couldn't knock down the shot. And it's Siena basketball, and Mayo, who has been active at both ends, was the last to touch.
But you're right. Great set. Pass the ball inside to Lowry. Try to get an isolation. As soon as the double team comes, quick pass, the extra reverse. On offense, they share the basketball. They're fun to watch. They play the right way on the offensive end.
Final 10.5 seconds of the first half. Wright gives to Himes, who looks up at the clock. Under 5 seconds when he attacks and lays it in. Well, despite being down by 8 to the top-seeded Iona Gales, not bad for the 8th-seeded Siena Saints.
No, they're within striking distance. Jimmy Patso's team, though, has to figure out a way to slow down the Gales. We've said it a bunch of times. I'm not sure you can outscore them. But only down 8, they're still in the ballgame at the half.
And specifically try to slow down A.J. English. 20 points to lead all scores. He and David Lowry, quite a 1-2 punch, and the Gales come out swinging in their first action of the MAAC tournament here in 2015.
Levon, I thought Siena made a concerted effort to get you the ball in the middle there. You're doing a nice job by getting to the rim.
Yeah, I just thought I got to get my teammates going. If I get in the middle, get some open looks for my shooters.
Yeah, it looks like you have an advantage inside. You and Javion can do some damage in there with some putbacks and layups. Is that your game plan?
Yeah, Javion is definitely a matchup nightmare. He's big in the post and he can score.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
David, you guys are really clicking offensively. What's working?
Everybody's sharing the ball. You know, people are playing unselfish, and everybody's accepting their roles.
One of the things you do so well is playing the perimeter and, you know, facilitate. Is that something you really enjoy?
Oh, yes. I always love giving my teammates the ball, man. It's a lot more to the game than scoring.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Jerk your head to center court and get up and get loud for our halftime game featuring athletes from Special Olympics of New Jersey.
Back in Albany at the half with Iona leading Siena 45-37. We send it over to Mitch Bonaguro with Siena's Levon Long.
Levon, I thought Siena made a concerted effort to get you the ball in the middle there. You're doing a nice job by getting to the rim.
Yeah, I just thought I got to get my teammates going. If I get in the middle, get some open looks for my shooters.
Yeah, it looks like you have an advantage inside. You and Javion can do some damage in there with some putbacks and layups. Is that your game plan?
Yeah, Javion is definitely a matchup nightmare. He's big in the post and he can score.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch. And here's a look at the tournament bracket. This is the first of our quarterfinals here today. This will be followed in the afternoon session by 4th-seeded Monmouth and 5th-seeded Canisius. And then tonight, number 2 seed Ryder will take on St. Peter's, and then the nightcap. It'll be interesting to see if the 11th-seeded Marist Red Foxes can give the defending tournament chance for Manhattan a ball game. Marist coming off An emotional 80-74 win Thursday in the opening round. The upset over Quinnipiac. Could we possibly have a number 11 seed punch a ticket into the MAAC semis? And, of course, it all leads to the championship game Monday night, 9 o'clock. You can see it on ESPN 2. And the winner will be cutting down the nets and going on to the NCAA tournament. Will it be Iona? Could Siena pull the upset? At the half, Iona 45, Siena 37. Back with more of our halftime report right after this.
Fulfill your educational goals on a 22-acre private residential campus just minutes away from the world's economic, cultural, communications, and entertainment center, New York City. For more than 160 years, Manhattan College has promised a Lasallian Catholic education featuring 5 schools of study that challenge students to excel academically while providing career opportunities second to none. Find out what Manhattan College can promise your future.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history, where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
You must do the thing you think you cannot do.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become.
It is not best that we should all think alike.
He who learns but does not think is lost.
The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly.
Oh, the things you could think of if only you try.
You could win an out-of-the-blue party with a rock star, like Charlie XCX. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag #OutOfTheBlue with a picture of Pepsi.
A.J. English has 20 points to lead all scores. Iona with a 45-37 halftime lead over Siena. And here's a look at the players who were honored at last night's MAAC Awards ceremony.
The 2015 MAAC Men's Defensive Player of the Year. From Quinnipiac, Usman Drame. Drame, a 6'9" senior from Boston, Massachusetts, led the conference and ranked 8th nationally with 2.97 blocks per game. He averaged 14.4 points per game. Good for 8th in the MAAC and led the league with 10.8 rebounds per contest. Drame ranked 3rd in the country with 19 double-doubles. The 2-time MAAC Player of the Week also ranked in the top 10 nationally in defensive rebounds per game, rebounds per game, total rebounds, and total blocks. The MAAC Men's Defensive Player of the Year, Usman Drame, Quinnipiac University. The 2015 MAAC Men's Co-6th Players of the Year. From Monmouth, Andrew Nicholas, and from Ryder, Zedric Sadler. Nicholas, a 6'6" senior guard from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, appeared in 27 games for the Hawks during the regular season and averaged 7.7 points and 1.3 assists per game, averaging 25.7 minutes of action per contest. He also ranked 2nd on his team with 38 made three-point field goals. Nicholas scored in double figures on 8 separate occasions this season while leading Monmouth in scoring twice. Sadler, a 6'3" junior guard from Detroit, Michigan, averaged 1.4 steals per game during the regular season, which tied for 8th in the conference. He also averaged 7.8 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.9 assists while playing in 24.5 minutes of action per game off the bench for the Bronx this season. Sadler ranks 2nd on Ryder in three-point shooting percentage, shooting 35.7% from long range. The MAAC Men's Co-6th Players of the Year, Andrew Nicholas of Monmouth and Zedric Sadler of Ryder. The 2015 The Rock MAAC Men's Coach of the Year, Kevin Baggett of Rider University. In his third year at the helm and 9th overall season with the Rider University Broncs, Kevin Baggett guided his team to a 15-5 Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference mark and a 21-10 overall record. His Broncs ranked second in the league, shooting 44.2%, and earned the number 2 overall seed in the 2015 MAAC Championship. 2 of Baggett's players earned all MAAC honors in the 2014-2015 campaign. The Rock MAAC Men's Coach of the Year. From Rider, Kevin Baggett. The 2015 MAAC Men's Rookie of the Year. From Iona, Cedric Casimir. The unanimous choice as the MAAC Rookie of the Year, Casimir, a 5'10" freshman guard from Stamford, Connecticut, made 89 three-point field goals, which tied for first place in the conference. He led all active MAAC freshmen in scoring during the regular season with 15.2 points per game and shot a league-best 43.8% from behind the three-point arc. A unanimous choice to the all-rookie team, Casimir earned a conference-high 8 MAAC Rookie of the Week honors in 2014-2015, en route to being a unanimous choice to the all-rookie team. The MAAC Men's Rookie of the Year, Cedric Casimir, Iona College.
And the MAAC Player of the Year, David Lowry, who we've been watching here this afternoon, has been doing his thing. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 block shots. David Lowry, the 2015 MAAC Player of the Year. When we come back, Rob Kennedy rejoins us. We'll show you the first half highlights and statistics as the Gales of Iona enjoy the lead at halftime, 45-37 over Siena.
The right education can inspire you to do anything. Challenge yourself. Prepare for success. This is your moment to create, explore, discover, matter to each other and to the world. Be inspired to do anything at Monmouth University.
It's the community.
And here we go.
The atmosphere.
What a game. You can just feel the electricity here.
The competition.
Wow. We are tied.
The fans.
This is the matchup everyone's been wanting to see. And now the crowd is beginning to swell.
The 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Regionals. March 28th and 30th at Times Union Center in Albany, New York. What it's all for.
I'm excited for college, but financially, it's going to be a little hard. I have to apply for scholarships, definitely. Money is kind of a big topic for us for college.
Job placement is really important, especially in today's economy, because I want to work as soon as I can to work off the debt and do, what I want to start doing for a living. I want to have the nice progression from, school to college to my life.
You could win an out-of-the-blue party with rock stars like Fall Out Boy. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag #OutOfTheBlue with a picture of Pepsi.
At the half in Albany, 45-37, Iona with a lead over Siena. Doug Sherman rejoined by Rob Kennedy. And A.J. English, 5 of 7 from the floor for 20 points. If Siena doesn't have an answer for him, they don't have a chance of coming back here.
Oh, and they've got to find an answer on the defensive end, Siena, because I don't think they can play at this pace and expect to beat the Gales. Gave up 45 points in the first half. That's just too many.
Okay, let's show you the first half highlights. And the Gales did what they do best, get out and score.
Well, they score early in possessions, especially when A.J. English has the ball in his hand and is attacking. You talked about it. 20 points on just 7 field goal attempts. He was terrific from beyond the three-point line at 4 for 5. They've got to figure out an answer for him. The answer for the Saints on the offensive end has been pounding the basketball inside. Points in the paint have kept them in this ball game. They've outscored the Iona Gales 20-12 inside. Devon Long, a big reason why. And not only his points in the paint, but Levon can also hit that mid-range jumper. But Doug, they've got to make some outside shots if they're going to hang in the ball game. Just 1 of 10 from beyond the three-point line. I'm surprised they're down by just 8, not making any threes.
Along with the disparity in the free throws, no trips to the line for Siena, 16 shots for Iona. The Saints will need to get themselves to the line and also knock down three-point shots if they're going to make a run at the #1 team here in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. When we come back, we will hear from the MAAC Player of the Year, David Lowry, and start the second half. He in the game. Welcome back to the Times Union Center in Albany. It's the 2015 MAAC Basketball Championships. Our first men's quarterfinal has Iona leading 45-37. Let's go over to Mitch Monaguro with Iona's David Lowry.
David, you guys are really clicking offensively. What's working?
Everybody's sharing the ball. You know, people are playing unselfish, and everybody's accepting their roles.
One of the things you do so well is playing the perimeter and, facilitate. Is that something you really enjoy?
Oh, yes. I always love giving my teammates the ball, man. It's a lot more to the game than scoring.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, David. And he kind of summed it up in a nutshell there, Rob. That permeates the entire Iona roster.
And because everybody's a willing passer, just like you see right there, they get good open shots. Their spacing and their passing ability separate them from so many teams.
Well, within the first 4 seconds of this half, they had made 2 passes, better than that one, and got themselves an open 3.
Push the pace, share the basketball. Whoever's open gets the next look. It's a pretty simple formula for what they do, but they do it extremely well.
English has 20 points to lead all scores. He starts with Lowry, Amayo, Casimir, and Williams for the Gales. Here's Casimir from the right corner. He's still looking for his first field goal. Williams quicker to the ball than Poole. The Saints have Hines, Poole, Wright, Long, and Oganyemi. Lob to Williams, big advantage. He's a head taller and then some over Hines.
And they do such a good job of recognizing where that mismatch is.
Ryan Oliver will come into the game with the first stoppage for Siena. Oganyemi trying to take advantage of that size inside.
And they've got to continue to pound the basketball inside, force Iona to collapse, and maybe throw a double inside so that they can make some outside shots.
Long block the shot, and on the alternate possession arrow, Siena gets it. Nice job defensively by Long. And now Poole goes out with Oliver coming in. Oganyemi to pull up. Williams secures the rebound. And here's Lowry dribbling the ball up. Williams over Himes. Long rebound again, tracked down by the Gales. English. That's like a layup for him.
Absolutely. You better not keep giving them extra opportunities on the offensive glass. The Gales just out-hustled Siena to those long rebounds, which amount to loose balls.
Iona's largest lead in the first half was 13. It's back to 11 here, and a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. The Gales trying to punch their tickets into the MAAC semis.
At Quinnipiac University, we offer the warmth and spirit of a small town. You feel it the moment you step on our picturesque campus, and a team of upperclassmen helps you move into your freshman dorm. You feel it in the dining areas as students and faculty share meals together. And you can cheer with your friends and Boomer the Bobcat at many of our exciting NCAA Division I sporting events. This is Quinnipiac University, where you're part of our community.
It's the community.
And away we go.
The atmosphere.
What a game. You can just feel the electricity here.
The competition.
Wow. We are tied.
The fans.
This is the matchup everyone's been wanting to see. And now the crowd is beginning to swell.
The 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Regionals. March 28th and 30th at Times Union Center in Albany, New York. What it's all for.
I got the personal attention I needed. I had a lot of options when I graduated. And as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career. And I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder. And right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
Siena fans and the cheerleaders hoping that the Saints can hang with the Gales, but Iona has started the second half quickly. The lead is 50-39. Keep calm and go Gales. Interesting to be here. This is the first time of the many years the MAAC has held its postseason tournament in this building. That the league, Rob, has done a better job at making it feel a little more neutral. There's no way you can avoid having thousands of fans in the building rooting more for Siena than the others, but the Siena fans don't have all the prime seats this year. The branding is different. The floor is different. They brought in a different floor. This was the floor that was used back in November by the league at Mohegan Sun. And so you don't have the Siena markings on the floor, just to make it feel more neutral and more even.
And I think that's a good idea. Yeah. And you know, you've got to try to figure out where you're going to play the tournament, where it makes most sense for the league. And, you know, there's discussions about playing on the home floor. Well, that's not... doesn't have the feel of being in a league tournament. You might as well just play regular season games if you're going to play your tournament on the higher seeds home floor.
David Lowry. Foul on the rebound. Well, here in this city, there are 2 conference tournaments being played in Division I basketball right now. Albany is the #1 seed in the America East, but that league has gone this year to all home sites for the higher seeded teams, so you don't have that feel of everybody in one place at one time.
And I think it's a very different. You have good games in those buildings. You have good crowds because it's at somebody's home floor for every game, but it's not the same as going to an event. It's not the same as going to a conference tournament where everybody's together, much like they were last night for the awards ceremony and everything else that goes on with it. And so I'm in favor of having it at a spot where everybody can get to and not at the home floor. So you got to figure out which building makes the most sense for the league. And over the history of this league, this building and this city has worked the best, in my opinion.
No question. No look pass from English. Amayo, though, couldn't finish. Gets it back. Another offensive rebound for the Gales.
They're 4th of this second half. And so it's hard enough to stop them in the initial offensive set. You can't give them extra opportunities because they'll just kill you like that. That's the second 3 that they've hit off of an offensive rebound.
Well, after missing a dozen games with a foot injury, Isaiah Williams is back. And if not as good as ever, pretty close. He's got 16 points, the lead back to a dozen.
He had a good game, first game back against Manhattan. Struggled in his second game with just 1 day's rest. Look at those 3-point shooting numbers, and that tells you the whole story right there.
And the game you reference, Iona lost its regular season finale at St. Peter's after having won such an emotional game 2 nights before against Manhattan.
Well, when he has time and you see his feet set, talking to Tim Cluse yesterday, he said he's nowhere near 100%. Not just the fact that getting back into game shape, he said he's bothered by the ankle, limps around a little bit, but didn't look it on that possession.
Page takes the spot of Oganyemi. A couple of free throws for Rob Poole. Back to a 10-point ball game. English. Pass deflected out of bounds. Iona will keep it with 15 to shoot. Amayo to the cutting Lowry. Able to absorb the contact, change hands, and finish with a left.
And how refreshing is that, right? Not a high ball screen, not somebody pounding the ball. The ball moves. As soon as somebody gets it, they're looking for the next open guy. 3 passes, layup. Basketball's not that hard, but boy, do we make it more complicated than it is.
I agree.
High ball screen, high ball screen, high ball screen.
It is refreshing to see a little bit of a flashback for sure. Himes, no. Williams comes away with it. Here comes Casimir. Lowry kick to the corner. Open look, Casimir. He's still looking for his first made field goal. And the Gales are just killing the Saints on the offensive glass.
And they're all long rebounds, and that's just effort and hustle. You get after it on the offensive glass around the rim. Sometimes it's positioning, muscling guys. Right now, they're just quicker to the basketball. Good energy from the Iona Gales right from the get-go.
English comes away holding the back of his head. Marquise Wright comes away holding the front of his head. It's the Gales getting the job done here at Albany.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You've come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
We are St. Peter's University, a place where students who are eager to learn are taught by people who care, on a campus designed for both to thrive. We're proud to offer incredible learning opportunities and life-changing experiences, and that means our students are prepared to succeed in their fields, in their communities, and all over the world. Get to know St. Peter's University, the Jesuit University of New Jersey.
You could win an out-of-the-blue party with a rock star, like Charlie XCX. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag #OutOfTheBlue with a picture of Pepsi.
MAAC fans, log on to MAACFanZone.com today to enter into the MAAC Fan Rewards program. Enter the promo code Albany to redeem your bonus points towards special MAAC gifts and prizes.
Well, Doug, in that first half, the Gales couldn't miss. Shot 54%. Here in the second half, they're shooting just 31%, but 6 offensive rebounds. And as we said, so many of those long rebounds just outracing Siena to the basketball have allowed them to stretch this lead out.
Williams sets the screen for English, who just lost the basketball. Right to Poole. Foul on Williams.
Now Marquise Wright is always going to push the pace. Rob Poole playing really on one ankle. Still making the run up the floor somehow. Able to fight through some contact and finish. He's had 3 tough pull-ups and finishes in traffic. They've not been able to get him any good open looks from beyond the three-point line. And they're going to need some of those.
As a team, Siena just 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. They've now gotten to the free throw line a little bit, 3 for 3 here in the second half. Casimir right around Oganyemi. And there's the first bucket for the MAAC Rookie of the Year.
Recognizing advantages. He's got a big guard him out on the perimeter, puts the ball to the floor, turns the corner and gets there, but he finishes it.
The alley-oop to Oganyemi from right.
Well, screened in on the backside, able to throw the alley-oop over top, much like we saw the Gales do in the first half.
Illegal screen against Iona.
Well, that's that dribble handoff, and you see Tim Kluse upset, and I don't blame him. We've seen that a couple of times this season on a dribble handoff where they call the illegal screen. I don't understand it.
And I think as much as anything, Poole came out of that awkwardly because of his ankle, not so much about all the contact. Oganyemi was fouled. Third on Amayo. And by the way, Levon Long back on the floor playing with 3 fouls for Siena. But that's just a matter of course for the sophomore from Baltimore. Here's Oganyemi, young man from just up the road in Troy, New York, who has taken a big step forward this year as a sophomore.
He averaged under 2 points and under 2 rebounds per game last year, averaging over 9 points and nearly 5 rebounds this season. But struggles from the line at just 57% on the season. And so you get an opportunity, try to get yourself back in the ball game, get the crowd into it, leave both of them short. Look at all the spacing. 5 out, so you get driving lanes for Lowry.
Oganyemi called for the foul.
So they go open post, and you put the basketball in your center's hands to try and allow him to beat guys off the bounce.
And if you're Javion Oganyemi, who just picked up his 3rd personal foul, you're in a tough spot. He doesn't defend on the perimeter very often at all.
And you would think, okay, play off him. The problem is Lowry's a 39% shooter from beyond the three-point line, so you can't sag that far off.
Poole deflects the pass out of bounds. Iona will keep it. English is bumped by Oliver. 3rd foul on Oliver. So with 13:37 left in regulation, the Saints have 3 men on the floor right now with 3 fouls each. And that's been a recurring problem all year long for Coach Patsos. Lowry back to the basket. Oganyemi stood his ground that time, got the block shot. Right. Blocked from behind. Poole. I believe a timeout came from the Siena bench before Poole could get the shot off. And it's a 30-second timeout.
Jimmy Patsos is not afraid to use timeouts sometimes. Had one with about a minute left to go in the first half. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there, taking that one. At times, you just got to save those timeouts. You could be up. The game goes for 40 minutes. You don't have to call timeout to get your point across all the time.
And through traffic, it was hard to tell for sure, but it looked like Rob Poole, off the broken play, had what could have been his first open look.
Yeah, he gave up a 3, put it to the floor. I thought they called the block. I didn't realize it was a timeout called when we first heard the whistle. But you're right. On that broken play, you know what? Rob Poole's got to let that one fly. You know, he's a terrific three-point shooter. He's your senior. You want to keep it going. I think he's got to pull the trigger on that, even if you're getting closed out quickly like he was. Sometimes you got to force it. That was one of those times where I think he needed to force up that 3.
Coach Patsos has been publicly and privately urging all season his 2 seniors, Rob Poole and Evan Himes, to lead the way for this team, and they need it right now. There's Poole off the glass, a little strong. Lowry with a nice rebound. So out of the timeout, Siena got a good look from Poole, just couldn't convert. Down 9. Casimir, Hines blocked, Long got it. And Siena secures the ball. This is Ryan Oliver in the front court.
And for as well as Iona has played, they've not been able to get enough separation to put Siena away.
Tough shot for right, rims out. And Oganyemi just picked up foul number 4.
And that's a big problem because you need multiple defenders to guard David Lowry in the post. Remember, they're playing without Emo Silas, who's been out all year, their rim protector, one of the reasons why they've not been as good defensively all season long, as well as Britt Bisping, who as well has been out. He as well will be applying for a medical red shirt, hoping to have both those guys back with an extra year of eligibility. But with those two guys not available, they are thin up front.
And so the freshman Willem Brandwick comes back into the game. Pressure broken. Amayo brings the ball back out. 12:22 remaining in regulation.
So Saints come up empty on 3 trips that would have gotten the lead down to 7, possibly 6, and really would have gotten this crowd to be a factor.
And there's the Lowry spin. Tremendous feat for such a big guy.
A great handle, and you're right, his footwork as well.
That is not easy, and he makes it look very easy.
Well, he comes off the screen. They get good spacing. Again, you see it's an open post, so there's nobody that you have to worry about running into inside. And because they play so much with the open post, you get driving angles for the guards like A.J. English as well as David Lowry. That's designing things to play to the strength of your guys on the offensive end.
Isaiah Williams with the offensive rebound.
Tell you what, the Saints have had some opportunities to make this thing interesting. Keep missing on those opportunities. I don't know how many more you're going to get.
Lowry appeared to dribble it off his foot. Back to the Saints. Can Siena start cashing in, or can the Gales hang on? The winner moves on to the MAAC semis tomorrow against the winner of Monmouth and Canisius.
Tim, obviously a war, but your kids are really competing on the glass. At the half, you were down rebound, and now you guys are really getting on the glass.
Yeah, we figured the only way we're going to win here is if we out-rebound them in the second half. I thought the first half, I think they got 12 points on second chance shots, and it's just way too much. That and direct line drives are beating us. We have to do a better job of that to win this game.
Any adjustments defensively?
Yeah, really just trying to take those two things away and have better recognition of who can do what out there. I think we were chasing the wrong guys at times and leaving their better players with lanes.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mitch.
Back at the Times Union Center, Iona's lead is 11. We send it over to Mitch with Gales head coach Tim Cluse.
Tim, obviously a war, but your kids are really competing on the glass. At the half, you were down rebound, and now you guys are really getting on the glass.
Yeah, we figured the only way we're going to win here is if we out-rebound them in the second half. I thought the first half, I think they got 12 points on second chance shots, and it's just way too much. That and direct line drives are beating us. We have to do a better job of that to win this game.
Any adjustments defensively?
Yeah, really just trying to take those two things away and have better recognition of who can do what out there. I think we were chasing the wrong guys at times and leaving their better players with lanes.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Tim. Siena had 12 second chance points in the first half, none so far here in the second half, and they've really been getting after that offensive glass. 7 offensive rebounds for the Gales already since the break, and it's really been Isaiah Williams getting after it.
Tracking down long rebounds. As we said, they've just been quicker to the basketball. They had good energy from the start of this game, and certainly they've outplayed Siena pretty much from start to finish. Yet the Saints have been hanging around, down by just 11. They've missed a couple of opportunities that would have gotten it a little bit tighter and would have put some pressure on the Gales.
Levon Long cuts it back to a single-digit deficit at 59-50. The Saints have never led here today.
And now they've got to string some things together. Gales have struggled from deep this half, just 2 of 11 from beyond the three-point line, after being on fire in the first half at 7 of 13.
And A.J. English has cooled off, although that can change in a hurry. He had 20 points in the first half, only 3 so far here in the second half, make it 5.
And there's that size advantage. Turns the corner, takes right into the low post on the drive. And out of the zone, you see how A.J. English, when Poole's in his area, cheating out to Rob Poole so he doesn't get a good look.
Oganyemi had it blocked. Jimmy Page got a hand on the pass. Lowry, though, still with it. Surrounded by gold jerseys, and the Saints take it away. Right to Poole.
And they desperately need that. Not just to cut into the lead, but get the crowd back in it. As we said, Rob Poole's got to make some threes if they're going to make up this deficit.
12 points for the senior from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Casimir tripped, and the foul called against Jimmy Page.
Well, the Saints were just 1 of 10 from beyond the three-point line until Rob Poole able to find this open look in transition. They've been able to mark him into half court. Jimmy Patzos' team's got to be able to figure out ways to get Poole some open looks.
Casimir leans in, tough shot off the glass for 2.
That's a big-time finish.
The lead stretches back to 10. Right, has the baseline cut off. He spins, though, misses the shot. Page the offensive rebound. He's blocked by Williams. And Siena will have it underneath its own basket.
Casimir at his small size, another one of those small guards that's able to finish once he gets himself to the rim. He's not necessarily the quickest guy off the bounce, but he's crafty.
And he changes speeds extremely well and has good handle. Terrific young player out of Trinity Catholic High School.
Perfect example of a guy who may not be the fastest guy out there, but he's got that quick first step to get by you, and then he's able to finish once he gets there.
English calls for the screen from Williams. He shoots over Oganyemi for 2.
And he calls for the screen to force you to make a decision. If you switch it, now all of a sudden Oganyemi's trying to play him on the perimeter. That's not going to work. So what do? Take advantage of the mismatch.
27 points for English.
You see that all the time in the NBA, where NBA teams try to figure out where the mismatch is and play through that guy. You don't see it as much in college, but the Gales consistently try to put you in situations where they create a mismatch and then they just go exploit it.
It sounds so simple. Why don't we see more of it?
Well, again, because I think sometimes guys don't give their players enough freedom on the offensive end. It's hard to coach that way sometimes, where you don't have control over every set, every play, and let guys go ahead and make plays.
Under 10 to shoot.
Got a lot of overcoaching at times in college basketball.
English. Oliver gives to Marquise Wright. 4-on-2 Siena. And the throwdown by Long.
Well, they keep hanging around, but if they don't come up with a string of defensive stops, they're not going to get over the hump.
Williams for 3. Well, there's a stop. And again, quickly numbers for the Saints. Long again.
And this is where the home court advantage starts coming into play. A couple of stops back-to-back for the Siena Saints and a couple of opportunities out on the break. They got the lead down to 8. And now starting to get the crowd into it to make things interesting.
Levon Long, back-to-back finishes, and he'll be at the line when we come back to Albany. The Saints have cut the Gales' lead back to 65-57.
The community.
And here we go.
The atmosphere.
What a game.
You can just feel the electricity here.
The competition.
Wow. We are tied.
The fans.
This is the matchup everyone's been wanting to see. And now the crowd is beginning to swell.
The 2015 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Regionals. March 28th and 30th at Times Union Center in Albany, New York. What it's all for.
Hey. Guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day!
It's hump day!
Yeah.
Hey, Mike! Mike!
Guess what day it is?
Hey, Camel! Guess what day it is?
It's not even Wednesday.
Let it go, Phil. If you're a camel, you put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
The 4-5 game here in the MAAC quarterfinals coming up next. Monmouth and Canisius will tip off shortly after the conclusion of this game, with Iona leading Siena 65-57. Then tonight we'll see the second-seeded Ryder Bronx take on number 7 St. Peter's, and the defending tournament champion Manhattan Jaspers will take on the challenge of the 11th-seeded Marist Red Foxes. That game is scheduled to tip at 8 o'clock tonight. All games can be seen on ESPN 3 or the Watch ESPN app. Good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon in the capital of Albany, New York. And the Saints, on a bit of a push, have cut what was a 13-point deficit to a much more manageable 8 points, and a chance to cut it again with a free throw upcoming for Levon Long. Well, the Gales have certainly cooled off here in the second half from the perimeter, Rob, where they were just lighting it up in the first half.
Yeah, 7 of 13 in the first half, 2 of 13 here in the second half, and because they've gone cold from the outside, they left the door open a number of times, and Siena finally able to get back-to-back stops and take advantage.
15 points now for Long to lead Siena. Ibn Muhammad came out of the timeout on the floor with the Gales. He's got the ball, number 3 in white.
And Siena in the matchup zone.
Amayo. Casimir. Wright pulls down the rebound. Here comes the Siena Saints. Long touch pass. Maurice White had it blocked. Lowry blocked the Oganyemi shot. Huge defensive stand for the Gales.
Absolutely. 2 block shots to take away an easy basket at the rim. That would have cut it to 5 and really would have put some game pressure with this home crowd getting into it.
Casimir crosses over Oliver. Had a shot blocked. Comes out to Muhammad. 6 to shoot. Lowry. Tough 3. That was a 2-point shot, actually, and he left it short.
Well, the zone has slowed down the Gales and bothered them each of the last 2 possessions. Gales got a shot off as the shot clock was winding down.
Maurice White tries again. Oganyemi.
And that time Oganyemi gathered himself so that the defender didn't have a chance to go up and get it right away. And this is why Tim Cluse didn't like the idea of playing the Saints here in this building. Starting to get loud.
And why he said yesterday his Gales, the top seeds, are the underdogs. Timeout, Iona. How much of that timeout was to try and stem the tide on a 7-0 run, and how much is that maybe to try and quiet the crowd a little bit?
You get both with it. A good timeout right there. You don't want to let it get down to a 1-possession game before you take the timeout. Take it now. Opportunity to set up where the basketball is going to go. The Gales, who pushed the pace so quickly throughout most of the game, last 2 possessions against the matchup zone for Siena have been slow to get going offensively. 1 shot. A 4th shot by Lowry at the buzzer. The open 3 from the corner possession before by Casimir was with 2 seconds left to go on the shot clock. They're not used to winding that shot clock down that deep.
And one message that has been constant throughout the year for the Gales from the coaching staff is the 10-second rule. We want to get a shot up within 10 seconds. And there are circumstances where they don't do that, but perhaps Coach Cluse is going to reinforce that here, and hey, let's get back to who we are.
Yeah, let's start playing with some more pace on the offensive end. Just because they're playing matchup, don't stand around. Let's get some movement of players and the basketball.
10 on the shot clock. English trying to post up right. Amayo fouled by Levon Long.
And a little combination of matchup, and they get so matched up it's basically man-to-man, but they sink the defender, whoever's playing Amayo, into the post. They don't guard Kelvin Amayo. It's not a very good outside shooter, so they'll play off him to try and take away some of those driving lanes.
Poole the rebound. Now Rob, for Siena, Long, Oliver, and Oganyemi each have 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, so they're going to have to play without fouling because they need those guys on the floor. Still trying to make up this 5-point deficit.
Oliver, pull up from the baseline. And the foul against English. Got him in the head. 16 foul against Iona, number 2 against English, and so Oliver, who has been Siena's top scorer over the last 5 games at 12.5 per, to the line, 75% foul shooter.
Talk about ups and downs of the season. Got off to a great start and then got himself into a long, extended drought. Couldn't make a shot for a long stretch. Has certainly bounced back and played his best basketball coming down the stretch of the regular season.
He never ventured inside the three-point line early because he was making 75% of his shots for the first month, but now he has changed his game and taking far more two-point shots.
And this matchup has slowed down the Gales. They haven't been able to slow them down in the man-to-man. Good change of defense.
Lowry sets the screen. Again, the shot clock down to 5. Amayo. Nice feed from Lowry to get the lead back to 5.
And second time out of the matchup that they've lost track of Kelvin Amayo. Remember, he's just a 50% foul shooter, but the Saints have so many guys in foul trouble that you can't give it up right there.
Poole trying to work on Casimir. White around and out.
Well, that's a shot. Even though he's wide open, there's a reason he's not a good outside shooter. Not the shot, not the guy you need taking that shot. It's a wide open 15-footer, but he doesn't make those. White at just 19% on the season from the field. You got to give it up.
English back to Lowry on the screen and roll. He had it poked away. Shot clock at 6. Lowry again through the contact for 2.
Iona able to stay with it long enough to come up with another loose ball. We've seen him come up with a ton of those tonight. That was a huge play.
Poole, air ball. And you get the sense that Siena got as close as it was going to get, and the Gales have been pushing them back. The lead up to 7 with possession, 2:15 remaining in regulation.
Smart double off the high ball screen.
Siena basketball.
Tim Cluse was signaling for a timeout before the jump ball. He should have gotten that. That should be Iona's basketball, but the officials didn't see him. So on the tie-up, Siena gets a big break.
We'll step away with 2:06 remaining. The Gales, the top seed, getting all they can handle from the 8th-seeded Saints here in Albany.
You could win an out-of-the-blue party with rock stars like Fall Out Boy. Follow us on Twitter and hashtag #OutOfTheBlue with a picture of Pepsi.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
It's knowing that you will always compete against the best while making you become the best that you can be. It's about joining a family with a storied history where athletics and academics are held to the highest of standards. It's about creating the future leaders of tomorrow, all with the focus on one goal: graduation. It's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
With Mitch Monteguro and Rob Kennedy, I'm Doug Sherman. Iona has the lead back to 7 after Iona had seen it trimmed to 3. So now the Saints will have the basketball. If you're Siena, you've got Levon Long back into the game and Maurice White back onto the bench. Who are you looking most for out of the 5 on the floor here for Siena?
Oh, Wright's the guy that can make plays. Put the ball into his hands, let him get some penetration, and then spot guys up off of that. Both Oliver and Poole are good outside shooters or pound the basketball back inside. You talked about it earlier too, Doug. Get yourself to the foul line. Even Rob Poole on his last miss. Ball fake, get the guy in the air, and then get yourself to the foul line.
Oliver, tough entry to Long, and he lays it in.
That's been their advantage all game long. They've been able to pound the basketball in the paint, 38th point here in this ball game inside for the Saints.
And 17 for Long now, leading all the Saints.
Now Iona content to take time off the clock. Got to convert late in the shot clock.
Lowry stalking Oganyemi, now pulls it back out.
Ooh, he got away with the wall.
No, he didn't.
They jump stopped and then changed his pivot foot. See, he and Tim Kluse talking about it. Got to get back now and get a defensive stop.
English, Casimir, Lowry, Amayo, and Williams. Starting 5 on the floor for Iona.
And on the other end, I think the Gales got to get back to what they do well. Move the basketball, move bodies. Too much standing around late.
Oliver. The Saints are as close as they've been since the opening minutes of the ball game at 69-67.
Well, the Saints, who could not make a basket from the perimeter in the first half, they were 1 for 10, 2 for 2 here in the second half. Haven't got a whole lot of looks from beyond the three-point line, but you see Poole and Oliver both running to the open spot. Poole hit the first 3 of this second half. Oliver steps up and hits the second.
Oliver's career high was 23 last month against Canisius. Getting a little closer to that with 16.
Now, Doug, we were just talking about it before. Gales have gone stagnant. Initially, it was against the matchup zone that Siena was throwing out. Last possession, they were straight man and just put the ball in Lowry's hands to allow him to isolate. They're so good offensively when they get bodies moving and players moving. Even though you're trying to milk the clock a little bit, I think you got to forget about that now and get back to doing what they do best. Run good offense.
Iona had 45 points in the first half. They've got just 24 so far here in the second half. The officials are taking a look at the scores table to reaffirm that Oliver shot was indeed a three-point shot. Seemed pretty clear from our angle, and the officials now concur. Is it easier said than done to flip that switch as we take another look for Oliver's foot? You know, you say Iona's got to get back to doing what it does best, but with 1:02 on the clock in a game like this, how tough is that to get back into that?
Well, they have sets. Besides all the action that they get going in the initial offense, early offense, they have a number of sets. They've got to get back to one of those sets. Whether it's the dribble handoffs, where the second guy comes off the screen, whatever it is, they've got to get one of their sets that gets the ball moving instead of just getting in the ball in one guy's hands and letting him isolate. As well, I'm surprised. You got to get the ball into A.J. English's hands and let him go make a play. Here we go.
He's got Marquise Wright trying to defend. Lowry with the basketball.
Well, they ran the set. It was to try and see if they could get Williams on the alley-oop. Now A.J. English, who was so good in the first half, needs to make a play.
Tough three, and he hits it. 30 for English.
Well, David Lowry may have been the MAAC Player of the Year, but there's no question in my mind that A.J. English has been Iona's MVP all season long. None bigger than that three.
Poole for three. English and Wright tied up, and it's Iona basketball.
Well, not a bad shot for Poole, but he was fading away instead of going to the basket. Now Siena's got to get up, and they've got to give fouls. Huge play right here. Shot clock starting to wind down. Not much going offensively, but there's the size of A.J. English against the smaller guards for Siena. Able to rise up and hit a huge three.
Marquise Wright did all he could. He was up. Just English was better.
Well, Kelvin Amayo's the guy that you want to foul, but he's the guy inbound in the basketball.
Timeout comes from the Iona bench to avoid what could have been a 5-second violation.
Well, Tim Kluse did get one earlier where it was a jump ball situation. He made darn sure that he got it there. Can't turn the basketball over, trying to inbound it.
So Siena has the possession arrow. Both teams now with one timeout remaining.
And you see Siena with just 7 fouls, so Jimmy Patsos' team will try to get a steal, try to get the initial trap. If not, you give up the foul. It's still a 1-and-1. Kelvin Amayo, the worst foul shooter on the Gales team at just 51%, and he's missed a couple here today. But don't expect the basketball to end up back in his hands.
He will likely be the inbound man, along with Williams, Lowry, English, and Casimir. And indeed, it is going to be as Amayo gets some last-second instruction from the coaching staff on what to do and what not to do here.
And the Gales want to get it into Casimir's hands. He leads the league at 90%.
And there is Casimir with the basketball. White fouls him. And the freshman will head to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Well, excellent execution coming out of the timeout. Guy that can't make foul shots, he inbounds the basketball. The guy who leads the league and at one point in time had made 44 straight, he's the guy that you get open.
He missed the front end. Siena still has an opportunity here, down 5. Long gives to Poole. Timeout Siena.
And Long got away with the travel. He clearly dragged his pivot foot. But how about Rob Poole playing on one ankle, but he's a senior who doesn't want his career to end. Somehow with the burst of speed, able to turn the corner and finish through traffic. Here's the travel by Long, not called. And here's Poole going to attack it. He almost had an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Well, Rob Poole is scheduled for surgery on that ankle once his season is done. And it could be done in 9.9 seconds unless the Saints can pull out a miracle here against the top-seeded Gales.
And it looks like there may be a substitution and Poole coming out. Remember, with that ankle injury, can't cover ground on the defensive end. Saints still in a 1-and-1 situation. Casimir got the basketball last time. As we said, 90% on the season. Top 10 in the country from the foul line. Put it back in his hands. He's not going to miss 2 in a row.
You wouldn't think. But across the board, Iona with good free throw shooters. Williams 72%, English 77%, Lowry 68%, and then of course Casimir at 90% coming in.
The only problem, if you take Poole out of the basketball game and you somehow come up with the steal, you don't have a timeout to make the substitution to get him back in the ball game.
Well, somebody else will have to step up and make a play. It's going to be Himes, Wright, Long, Oliver, and White.
That's why you want some of those timeouts that you took early on, so that you've got them for situational timeouts coming down the stretch.
But with that said, the timeouts used early helps Siena get back in the game, perhaps.
Once again, it'll be Amayo who triggers it in.
English, no foul given. The whistle blows, and no indication yet. And now we do get the foul call against Marquise Wright.
That's his third personal.
And so now Ogunyemi, Poole come back in. Looks like Brandwick will also return for Siena, and he is a three-point threat.
Here off the full court pressure, English gets himself on the sideline. I tell you what, that one was close. Obviously you're trying to foul, but English looked like he may have run out of territory on the sideline.
English a perfect 7 for 7 today from the line.
And he's the guy that carried him throughout that first half. trying to finish things off. 4th time this season he's gone over the 30-point mark.
Five seconds. Wright puts it up. The Iona Gales survive and advance, coming to Albany to win this hard-fought quarterfinal over the 8th-seeded Siena Saints, 74-71.
Well, certainly A.J. English with the monster game. He finished it off from the line with the 2 key foul shots late. But it was his first half offense that got the Gales enough separation. And then when their offense went a little stagnant in the second half, they still had enough to, as you said, Doug, survive and advance.
Well, I think Tim Kluse's worst nightmares were coming true there down the stretch. Crowd back in it. Siena cut it down to 2, and he's like, here we go.
Yep.
But they managed to get the winning formula and move on to the semifinal round, where they will take on the winner of our upcoming game between Monmouth and Canisius. Back with our post-game report after this. Back in Albany, where Iona has defeated Siena 74-71 to advance to the MAAC semifinals. We go over to Mitch, standing by with the winning coach. Mitch?
Hey, Tim, you knew this was going to be a tough game. I mean, Siena made a good comeback, but you guys made plays down the stretch. It's a terrific win.
Yeah, AJ made a heck of a 3 that we needed, and Siena gave them a lot of credit. They made a big run at us in the end of the game, but we got the right plays late, and we were fortunate enough to win the game.
Tim, what makes A.J. English such a great player? I mean, I know he's a tremendous offensive player, but so cool down the stretch.
He's cold-blooded, let me tell you. He's got that killer inside him. He wants to win every time out at everything he does, so he's kind of used to putting himself in these situations.
When you got down the stretch, I know there were a couple of plays that, you wanted a timeout, you didn't get it. Yeah. I know there was a play, where Oliver made a 3. He was kind of open.
Yeah, well, Dave was told he had to switch on that, and Dave took the first couple of steps and then decided to take a vacation a little bit early, and that hurts.
Well, good luck moving on, Tim.
Thanks
Great
very
win.
Much, Mitch. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Isaiah, anytime you're in a tournament, it's going to come down to a few plays. What made the difference down the stretch?
I think we, as a team, we bought in with our coaches telling us that we had to play harder than them on their home floor. You see, the crowd was in it and got them back into the game, and that helped them a lot. So we just tried to play harder than them.
Now, I know you're one of the three-point shooters, but you got off to a great start. As your three-point shooting come around as the season's gone on?
Yeah, it's gotten better. I think I can shoot a lot more better, but I just take the opportunities I'm open. I knock down the shots if I can. I pass it to a teammate.
Are you excited about now, obviously, getting this one behind you, survive in advance, right?
Yes. I feel very good that we got this game over with because, like I said, the crowd helped them and it boosted the energy up. So,
good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mitch. So, indeed, Iona moves on to the semifinals, where they'll take on the winner of either Monmouth or Canisius. The Hawks and the Golden Griffins have made it onto the floor, and they're warming up. That'll be coming up in about 25 minutes.
And both teams who gave the Gales all they could handle in the regular season, both Monmouth and Canisius, able to beat the Gales. They split the regular season meeting, but Iona's both wins were close wins. A 1-point win over Monmouth and just a 3-point win over Canisius.
And oh, by the way, Phil Valenti, the key sophomore forward who has been injured and out for Canisius, we've just been handed a note. He will dress and is available to play for the Griffs today. He is warming up with Canisius and will have an opportunity to take on the Hawks in just a few minutes. Then tonight we'll be back with Ryder and St. Peter's, and then Manhattan, the defending tournament champs, taking on Marist on this quarterfinal Saturday of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference tournament. Once again, the final score of our first MAAC quarterfinal: Iona 74, Siena 71. We will be right back with another MAAC Men's Basketball Championship quarterfinal on ESPN 3 between Monmouth and Canisius. For Rob Kennedy, Mitch Bonagiro, and our entire crew, I'm Doug Sherman saying so long from Albany.